I'm here to interview the cook of the Camp Verde camp meeting. Oh, over there, he points out. Okay, we're going to go to that side over here. My name is David Miles. I'm from San Carlos, Arizona, and I'm here in Camp Verde, Arizona. And we're talking to one of the head cooks at Camp Verde. So tell us what you're doing.
We are making some stew. We're making a vegetable beef stew. We have beans, and in the far right pot we have squash and corn. We'll be making some acorn stew. The ladies over there are making fresh hot tortillas.
Okay, let me see one of them tortillas. Let me see a fresh tortilla. Hand me one. This is an Indian tortilla, right? Very good. And where did they start making these?
A long time ago. They all learned from their grandmother.
All right.
Their grandmother and our mother, Annabelle Lori.
Very interesting. I'm interested in the acorn stew. What is that? Tell me.
Acorn stew. If you go out toward Payson, where you can pick the little acorns, it looks like a pinon or like a little nut, shelled nut. There's a process to get to where we are when we grab the acorn. There's a process before we get it to looking like little powder.
Oh, I see. So you get it out of the shell and you grind it.
Well, before you take it out of the shell, I learned this from my grandmother. You take it and you take a little brown pan, and it sits about this high all the way around. You take your cracked shells. The older women know how to do this. And they toss it in the air like this and get all the shells to one side, and it separates it. And you take your shells out. Sometimes the wind will carry the shells until you get to the little nuts. And once it gets to the part, the little inside of it, then you put it in a grinder and you grind it up until you make it to powder.
So it's just not a one-step process. You take it out of the shell and then smash it up. You have to do all the other stuff. That's interesting. And of course, Apaches eat that all the time. I'm from San Carlos. We have that. And yes, we have acorn stew there. So is yours any different from the San Carlos? Or is it different here at Camp Verde?
No, it's basically the same.
The same, very good. And so now you're cooking on outside like a real Indian.
Yes.
Very good. That's exciting. There's a real fire here, real fire going here, and we're eating outside. And this is the stuff that tourists need to see, but there's no tourists here. That's okay. But I'm here. I'm from San Carlos, and we're at Camp Verde, and we're having a camp meeting, religious revival, so to speak, and we're having a good old time here in Camp Verde, Arizona, just south of Flagstaff. It's an amazing place, home of the Yavapai Apache Indians, Native Americans, American Indians. Okay, well, how long has the camp meeting been going on?
It starts Thursday night all the way to Sunday, half a day, afternoon. After, I guess, lunchtime, we're done.
And who's the speaker?
Reverend Miles.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Well, this is Dave Miles signing off for the website that we have, and we're glad that you came to visit us and take a look at some of the cultural background of the Camp Verde Apaches, plus the San Carlos Apaches myself. So we're going to do some more interviews later on. Yes, we use a stone grinder, and that's how does that work?
It's kind of grooved. It's a big stone, and it's grooved in the middle, and you put your nuts on there, and you just go like that, back and forth. You grind it until it comes out powder like that.
So this is like, when people are out there looking for Indian artifacts, they find these old stones that are really big, and it's got a groove on the inside, and you got a top stone that they use to grind. That's like that same thing?
Yes.
I see. Very good. Wow, that's interesting. A stone grinder. Remember that. Yeah, they still use it.
Yeah, some people do. My grandmother had like 4 or 5 of them, and all the way up until she passed away, we would pick those and grind our own.
Do they make those stone grinders themselves, or do they find them somewhere already made somehow?
Actually, I don't even know. My grandmother never told me.
Okay, well, very good. All right, there you have it. One more part of the mystery of grinding acorns. Very good. Camp Verde. Camp Verde, Arizona. Camp Verde Apaches, Yavapai Apaches. Interesting.
My niece-in-law, her name is Tish. She's from San Carlos, and then that's my niece, Bambi.
Yes, San Carlos is where the good people are from, but you're okay here in Camp Verde too. It's okay. Everything's cool. Yeah. We have no animosity. We're visiting here to show our fellowship and unity with the Apache nations of the world. Okay, you were saying that.
I have a story for you.
Huh?
I have a story for you.
Okay, hold on. Wait, we're talking about the fried bread first. Okay, you just made all these tortillas here, and you were saying that you guys used to have tortillas all the time, excuse me. So what happened with the tortilla making situation here in Camp Verde?
About 3 years ago, the tribe here decided that, obesity was a problem.
Yeah.
So they did a contest, and it was called Shed the Fry Bread.
Uh-huh.
So everybody tried to cut out on eating fry bread and eating tortillas as much.
Yeah.
And it was a contest to see who could lose the most weight and body mass.
Oh, I see.
So everybody went on a health kick. We
Really?
switched from ground beef to ground turkey to more vegetables, more fruits. And having tortillas and fry bread once in a while was a big treat.
So I can see that would have a big impact on all of you here, and did it, in fact.
We did, but we fell. We fell by the wayside.
Okay, very good. And I wish they did at San Carlos, because I'm a person that believes in eating right, and I don't think we should eat fried bread and tortillas every day, but I think it is a treat when we do get it. So that's really good. Okay, you said you have a story to tell.
Yeah, I was telling Tisha. I remember when I was a little, I'm 46 now, but I remember when I was a little girl, maybe 4, 5. The Quail family, their father, Harvey Quail, he used to walk to the river, and he used to cut the branches that hold up the arbor. He used to find them like this, big ones, and he would put them in a pile, and he would drag them by rope.
Oh, really?
And he would bring them home. Right on the other side of this house where this home is built, that's where our arbor used to sit.
Oh, I see.
And he used to come and he used to build the arbor with all those poles by hand that he dragged home.
Well, that's amazing. And building a brush arbor is not easy work, especially in the hot sun.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that all by himself. This is your grandfather?
Yes, my grandfather, Harvey
What's it?
Quail.
Harvey Quail.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. And did you say that because I talked about the brush arbor this morning?
Oh, no, because she was asking me how long we had this camp meeting, and I said, I remember as a little girl, this camp meeting that we had, it was, they were called the American Evangelism Group.
Indian evangelism.
Yeah, and I remember we used to travel to different reservations for camp meeting.
Yeah.
We used to go as far as Moapa, which is on the other side of Las Vegas, over there to have a camp meeting over there. We've been to Parker, we've been to San Carlos, we used to go to Butchery, we used to go to Sackatone, Salt River. We used to travel to camp meetings all the time.
So this was before my time, but you actually been to the church I pastor now in San Carlos, Arizona, American Indian Church. You've been there before?
Yes, I have.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, you guys have been doing this for a long, long time. That's pretty good. And I like the story. Sometime we need to know more about the brush arbor thing, because you guys apparently build it slightly different than we do over there, but it's the same thing. Anyway, hey, thanks. What's your first name again?
My real name is Margaret, but everybody calls me Margie.
Okay, it's Margaret, but they call you Margie. Okay, very good. Well, nice to meet you, and your food has been great. I thank you for it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
A long time ago, when I was a little girl, we used to butcher our own cows, and there's a rope right up here that we used to tie it up to the legs, and they used to hang right here, and then we would butcher the cows, and we used the meat for the camp meetings. And then before this house was built over there, we used to dig a hole about 5-6 feet down. And then we would put wood on the bottom, and then rocks, and then wrap the meat in burlap sacks, and then cover it back up. And that's the meat that we use on Sunday for the barbecues. And then the rest of the meat we use for cutting up for stews and all the different things that we, cook. So that's what we used to do. I remember it since I was just a little girl. I remember it when I was 4. So, and now, I'm not going to tell you how old I am now, but I'm past my 40s, so it's been quite a while. So, but yeah, I remember it way back when.